Okay, welcome everybody to the third annual free trading journal that I'm going to be releasing. It's very similar from the very first journal that I released, except it's updated for 2024. Obviously, Happy New Year's, everybody, by the way. Hope everybody had a great 2023 and is looking forward to accomplishing even greater things in this upcoming year here. But so yeah, if you guys have been around in this channel, those have been probably some of my most popular videos on this channel at least. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this journal before, but I did make a couple adjustments, very small adjustments. It's basically the same as the previous 2 years journal, but you can tell it looks a little bit different. I just like to have a different aesthetic every year. I don't know, that's just the kind of person I am. I like to kind of change things up, but for the most part, most of the sheets that were available last time are going to be available again. It's going again by the same monthly thing. So again, like I said, if you guys have used this journal before in the previous 2 years, is going to be pretty familiar to you, but just going to do a quick overview so you guys know how to use it. But before we get into any of that, I just want to make it very clear, because a lot of people will click the link in the description down below, which is where you guys can find this journal. By the way, it's completely free. I always offer it for free for all of you guys, because that's my way of contributing back to the trading community, which I like to do. So enjoy it, I guess. But once you guys click on that link, it's going to look a little bit different because it won't have any of these values inputted. So it's going to be like blank, right? But once you click that link, head over here where it says file, make a copy, and then you can name it whatever you want. Zeros trading journal, right? Is something I might name it, but you can name it whatever. You can name it 2024 trading journal, trading tracker, whatever you want to name it. Go ahead and put that right there. And then click right here, it says make a copy. It's going to open it on a new page, and you're actually going to be able to edit it, because if you try to edit this one, it's going to tell you you do not have permission to edit this file or sheets, whatever. I don't know exactly what it says. And then it's going to give you an option to ask for permission to edit the Google Sheet, and a lot of people end up clicking that, and then I get like hundreds and hundreds of emails. Like over the past 2 years, I've gotten so many emails, like probably thousands, of people trying to request permission to use the sheets. But that's not what you want to do. Like I said, go ahead and make a copy, and then it'll be an exact replica of this Google Sheet, except you're actually gonna have access to it, okay? And you don't have to ask no permission or nothing like that. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, we can kind of start the overview. So this is gonna be the main page here. I just named it overview. You can go ahead and rename these, so it doesn't really matter. You can go ahead and name it main. Actually, you cannot name it main because there's another sheet called main here. So call it anything but main. Or let's just call it main X, right? But you can call it whatever you want. And this will just give you a brief overview of your account, I guess. So you're gonna see your total account value, your year-to-date return on a percentage basis, your total P&L, your profitability. So anything below 1 will be not profitable, because you can see we're negative right now. Anything above 1 would be profitable. Ideally, you're somewhere around the 1.5 to 2 range. That's like considered good, at least in my eyes. And anything above 2 is really, really good. And then anything like way above that, like 3, 4, is excellent, right? That's what that is. Win rate, pretty common sense, right? How much total you've won. This number will go up a lot. Like I said, once you start inputting more data. So it's kind of interesting to see how much you've lost, your average winner and your average loser. So pretty basic stuff there that most journals would provide, but just nicely put there on the home page there. I put a little quote here. You can go ahead and delete this or change it to whatever quote you wanted to say, or really put anything you want here. It's just one of my favorite quotes here about trading. It says, think in years, not days. Aim for consistency, not perfection. Such a good quote right there. I actually don't remember who I got that from, but shout out to you if you're watching this. But just such a good reminder when we're thinking about our trading performance, right? We gotta think in years, not days, and aim for consistency, not perfection. Just such a good quote, like I said. But like I said, you guys can go ahead and change that, or do whatever you want with that. You can adjust that, and it won't affect the journal or whatever. Here you just have your equity curve graphed over time. It's graphed depending on the weeks, so each week will be one little point. So at first it might not move a lot, but once you got the entire year inputted, it's gonna look like a lot better, right? And sometimes the data won't show, so we want to go ahead and do is double click it, come over here where it says customize, so it might start you off on setup. Go over here where it says customize, head over to where it says vertical axis, and you can go ahead and change the minimum, and also you can mess around with this right here if it's like not inputting your data correctly. So a lot of you guys might not be starting at 50k, some you might be starting at 10k, so you might want to put that at 10k, or you might be starting at a higher balance, 100k, and you might want to put that at 100k, right? If I put at 50k though, since my for the trades I've inputted, it dropped below 50k, it's gonna hide some of the data, and since this is clicked, it will hide some of the data. So just go ahead and mess around with that if you want. Right now it's set specifically at that because that makes it, you know, take up the entire graph from top to bottom. Otherwise it wouldn't do that, so that's why I have that there. But like I said, go ahead and mess around with that depending on your account balance and whatnot. Here, like I said, this is pretty basic stuff from the previous year's journals, just weekly P&L, monthly P&L. And if you want to go ahead and change the color of these, you can go ahead and, like I said, double click, go over here where it says customize. I think it's series. Yeah, you're gonna want to go over where it says series, and then format data point. This kind of sucks because you do have to do it manually. There might be a way to do it automatically, but I just haven't figured that out yet. And then whichever ones are negative, you can go ahead where it says week 1, click OK, and then change the color for that one. And then, like I said, you wouldn't have to do it for each one that's different. So this one, which week is this? That looks about like week 10, right? So we come over here where it says week 10, add the data point, and since it was a red, oh, we got the wrong week. That's okay though, we can just go over here, boom. And then if we want to make the positive week a different color, we can go ahead and do that as well. So if you want to do that, you can go ahead and do that. Like I said, it sucks because you kind of have to do it manually, but you can end up changing the colors if you wanted to go ahead and do that. Same exact thing for the monthly P&L, and that's about it for the overview page. This is new for this year, but I decided to basically replicate the main page and just have the data show in terms of R. By the time you guys get the link, I'll try to make it so these also input it in terms of R. But if I don't figure out how to do that, then it'll be still in dollar value. But at least the data up here will be in R. So how to set your R in a second. Right now it's in one of the next sheets. Okay, next is trades. This is the same as it's been in previous years. Obviously putting the date is really important because that's going to link it to the correct month or whatnot. So you want to make sure that you're putting the correct dates. And this sheet is only made for 2024. So unfortunately, if you want to have data from other years, it won't really work, right? Unless you figure out how I made the sheet and then you add the other years. I really wanted this year to make one that was going to be available for multiple years. That way I didn't have to come here and make an updated version for the next year, right? 2025. But I ended up kind of procrastinating. I procrastinated on updating the journal until like the last couple days. So I didn't get time to do that, unfortunately. But so yeah, this will only work for 2024. So all these trades here in 2023 won't actually show up. So yeah, so just heads up on that. And the thing with this is you don't have to input a data for every single one, but the date is really important. So you do have to fill this in. Time you do not have to fill in. Symbol is just optional. The number of contracts you do have to fill in. So make sure you are filling this in. Buy you do have to fill in. Sell you do have to fill in. Type you do have to fill in. And then and by the way, if you're trading a different product than this, or if the fees are a little bit differently, because I might have gotten the fees wrong, what you're gonna want to do is you can edit this and add a different item. So I don't know if you're trading like a forex pair. I have no idea. I've never traded forex in my life, but you can go ahead and add forex, I guess. And then over here, you're gonna wanna click a comma. Are those called parentheses or quotation marks? I don't remember what they're called, but those thingies, right? The two, you know what they are. And then you would, if you named it forex, you're gonna want to go ahead and put forex and then close that, and then put or no. Actually, before you do that, you're gonna want to head and click this right here, G2 equals parentheses or quotation marks, whatever that is, and then close that, and then put comma, and then type in whatever the fee is for that, right? Let's say your commission is $1 for buying and selling. It includes both sides. You would go ahead and do that. So G2 equals whatever you named it, and then the fees associated with that. Okay, so then every time, let's say we actually do that, we added Forex, and you can change the colors, up to you, right? That doesn't really matter. And oh shoot, and that you would have wanted to apply to all, right? And then let's say we click Forex, it's going to change the fee here to $1. So do you see how that works? So this is the multiplier. Okay, so originally when I made this sheet, it was very heavily options focused, and options focused, you got to multiply the buy and sell by 100. So that's where this comes into play. So this one, let's say you added Forex, what you're going to want to do is a very similar thing. You're going to want to click this, so it adds G2, or you can just type it in, equals, equals, quotation marks again, Forex, close quotation marks, comma, whatever the multiplier is. So I guess I've heard this before, in Forex you use like leverage, like 1 to 20, whatever leverage you're using, and it might vary. So I'll show you guys what you guys want to do for that. Let's say you're using 20 leverage, right? Again, I'm not sure exactly how Forex works, but let's say it's 20. You're going to want to type that out there, and it'll actually work out there, the P&L. And then you're going to want to head and copy that to the rest of the things, right? If you're using different leverage in Forex, what you can do is go ahead and name this Forex 20x. So whenever you're using 20x leverage, that's the one you're going to choose, right? And then you can go ahead and add other ones, Forex 50, and then, but you're going to have to do that and then come over here, work on because now it won't work, right? Because the name Forex 20x doesn't match anymore. So we're going to have to come over here and put it exactly Forex 20x. And now it'll show up, and then you do this one as well, Forex 20x. If you're not following along with anything I just said right there, and you have you're trading one of the products not listed here, go ahead and message me on Discord. The Discord is going to pop up on the screen right now. You could also find it in the description down below. Go ahead and message me there, and I'll try to help you guys out and figure stuff out. If I get too many requests, it might be very difficult for me, and I might have to get you guys one by one, and it's going to take me some time, but I'll try my best to go ahead and do that for you guys. But hopefully that little tutorial right there was enough to help you guys kind of figure it out on your own. But again, if you do have any questions, just let me know. These are optional, right? If you want to use the analytics tab here, you are going to want to make sure you're inputting the stuff here. But I do get, if you have a lot of trades in one day, it might be annoying to come here at the end of the day and be like, okay, what day was it? What time of day? Why is that? Whoa. All right, there we go. Now the time of day is set up correctly. So yeah, like I said, if you guys are going to be interested in using the analytics page, you do want to make sure you select the correct one for every single trade, or else the data will not be correct. And then setup, I've talked about this before. This links you with the playbook page. So if you have particular setups that you like to take, for example, opening range break, you can go ahead and name it whatever you want, and then this setup right here will be linked to this number 1. And so every time you go here on trades and you click a 1, it'll link it to that specific trade, and you can see now that the quantity has updated. I do get it, like if you're trading based on intuition, it's very hard to group it on a setup, so that would be very hard to know exactly what setup you took. So it might be different for some people, but like, let's say you're trying out, you can also do something like let's say you're trading on intuition, you can say you can group it like scalping first 10 minutes of market open, right? And then if you want to track your performance the first 10 minutes of market open, you can go ahead and do that, and every trade you take within the first 10 minutes of market open, you would tag with the 1, and then it'll show up there, right? Okay, got that. And then here, this is new. Since I've been moving over to Tradeovate mostly and trading futures a lot this year, I made this that way because you do have to enter these trades manually, and that is the biggest downside of this Google Sheet. Everything else is automated or whatnot, or like, you know, figure it out with formulas and all that stuff, so you don't have to do any of the math, or you know, you just input the trades. This is going to be the main sheet you're going to be actually inputting stuff in. I did figure out a way to make it a little bit easier, but you do have to be using Intraday specifically in order for it to work for you. Again, if you guys are using a different platform, you guys can probably figure it out. So go ahead and look at this sheet, this specific tab, and depending on whatever broker you're using, you're going to want to try to replicate this, but for your specific broker. So this is like the way the trades are shown, the trade history on Intraday. I'm giving the symbol, the quantity, the buy price, the buy time, the duration, the sell time, the sell price, and the P&L. So you can see that's all up here. But for the trades, I don't need all that data. So what I did was I had it set up so I can copy and paste all this info directly here, so I don't have to write every single one down, and then it formats it in a way that I can copy and paste it into my trades tab, and it'll actually work out. So for example, so if you're using Intraday, you're going to want to go over here to the performance tab, scroll all the way down to where your trades are actually at, and you're going to want to head and select them, and then Control V, and they should show up here formatted like this. And then you're going to want to go over here where it says, or the blue side, Control C, go over here to trades, and then Control Shift V, and that'll input the trades right there. But like I said, we cannot use these dates or else they won't really work. So let's go ahead and change these. Oh, also another thing, it's gonna copy and paste it with the time as well, at least for Intraday. And what you're gonna want to do is, once you've done that, go ahead and double click it on the calendar here. Make sure you click whatever date is the correct date, December 8th. Click it, and then go ahead and copy and paste that to all the December 8ths. You have to do that or else it won't work, just because of the time. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me how to remove that. Like, you can see the time is not showing up here, but when you copy and paste this data, it copies the time with it as well. I'm not sure why. I couldn't figure out how to get rid of that. So yeah, that you're gonna want to head and go ahead and do that in order for that copy and paste trick to work. Okay, and now let's change the date on these to 2024, just random dates. March 31st is not a real date. And then for this intraday performance, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to come over here with the P&L, copy that, come over here, paste that right there on the. You're gonna want to click Control Shift V, paste the P&L there, and then you're gonna get the R per trade. So in this case, we made it shows up as red, right? But in this case, it was plus 14 R, which is extremely good. But that's because our R is set to 80, and then the cumulative R will also be calculated on the right side here. Okay, and then you can see your P&L graphed throughout the day, so you can see whether you hit your high of day in terms of P&L early in the day, and then you gave some back afterwards or not. You can go ahead and calculate that, and this will work up to 45 trades in a day. So hopefully you're not taking more than 45 trades in a day. If you are, you're gonna have to edit the sheet a little bit to make it work for you, but I mean, for the most part, I think we should be taking a little bit less than 45 trades per day. And then here's your P&L versus the trade number. So you can see that there's definitely an outlier here. So this is nice to see. And then to actually set your R, and this is going to be very important, even if you're not going to be using this intraday performance sheet, you're going to want to come over here and adjust this. If you're going to be using the overview R sheet, this will be important. So you can go ahead and set your R. So let's say you're risking 500 per trade, and you can see the numbers are a lot more reasonable now. Let's say your risk per trade is 1,000. They become even a little bit more reasonable. But because we did have this outlier trade, it's going to show these up as red. But ideally, that shouldn't be the case unless you have negative trades, right? But that's that sheet right there. And then playbook is very similar to previous years, so not going to comment too much on that. But you can see it's a little bit kind of updated here now. Okay, and the analytics tab is going to be very similar to previous years, so days of week. Again, this will only work if you actually go ahead and make the selection over here. In this case, we haven't really done that, so data's a little bit all messed up, but you have this sheet available for you if you want to use it. Index is going to be pretty important to starting off. So once you open the sheet, this is probably going to be the first tab you want to go to and actually edit. And then afterwards, you can go ahead and hide the sheet if you don't want it to clutter up your tabs here. But basically, you can go ahead and just add your account, whether you're using trade day. So this is a prop firm for futures evaluation accounts. If you're trading your own Trade08 account, you can go ahead and do Trade08 margin, or you can go ahead and add whatever broker you're using and go ahead and name it, and then you can click your starting balance. There we go. Now it's updated. So yeah, put your starting balance there, and then transfers and payments. Let's say you're paying for an evaluation account for the prop firm, you would go ahead and select trade day, payments, because you're taking money out, how much it's costing you. So let's say trade day reset fee would be $99, right? For example, or if you're taking money out of your account, so let's say your individual Trade08, I guess it would go to income. Let's see how this would work. Let's say you withdraw 10 or 10K would be all of it, 5K, and then profit withdraw. And then if we go over here to overview, your account balance will now reflect that. Okay. End of week, this is just like a suggestion thing. So for example, if we made 6,000 this week, it would recommend us to withdraw 2K. Buying power increase. So this is how much you would leave in your account. So the buying power increases. This is how much you would take out and put that towards long-term or other investments. And this is how much you would save for taxes, right? And you can go ahead and change this percentage. So right now it's saying save 35% for taxes, save 10% for long term, save 15% for buying. You know, if you want to increase this, if you want to change this to 25 and don't put anything towards other investments, you want to go all in on trading, right? And let's say you're on a higher tax bracket, you could increase this to 50%, or if you're in a lower tax bracket, you can decrease this to 20. You know, all up to you. But just at the end of the day, you want to make sure that they add up to 100%, right? 35, 10, 15, 4. You want to make sure they add up to 100%, right? And this withdraw is not including these, right? So this is separate. This is withdrawing, and that's money you can now go ahead and use for your personal use. And then this would be the amount of money that stays in the account to increase buying power and all that stuff, right? So that's what all this is. And then at the end, you can have your totals as well. So that's what that is. Again, you don't have to use a sheet. It's just optional, just a little thing I like to add because I personally like to use that. But you guys can go ahead and choose not to use this sheet. And if you don't want to use it, you can go to right click, hide sheet, and then you won't even see it show up, okay? And if you accidentally do that and then you do want it to show up, you can just go over here and then make sure you click it and it'll show up again. This is very similar to previous years, so I'm not going to spend too much time, but it's just you can see your monthly performance. Again, aesthetically it's a little bit different, but basically the same. You can see it on a calendar basis. And if you guys want to add notes, go ahead and right click, insert note, and you can add notes about the day. So if you want to go ahead and actually journal about each and every day, solid day, only took the best setups. I don't know what else you would put, but if you want to go ahead and actually journal, and then later on you can come back and review that. So that's a really cool feature that some people don't know about. And yeah, and then you can just visually get some of your stats here and whatnot. So, and a lot of this data won't calculate correctly unless you have some losses inputted as well. So yeah. Okay, and I've been recording for 38 minutes now. Hopefully I can edit this down to be around 15-20 minutes. But it is a pretty big sheet. There's a lot it has to offer. But yeah, that is my yearly free trading journal for you guys. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me on Discord. If you guys leave a comment on this video, it's unlikely I will check it because I'm not very active on this particular channel. It's not a channel that I normally post on anymore. The only reason I decided to post this video on this channel still is because that's where I posted the 2 previous ones, and this channel is a little bit bigger than any other channel I have. It has about 1 point something thousand subscribers, so I wanted to get out to as many people so they can take advantage of it. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support on the previous year's videos for the trading journal. Hope you guys are able to enjoy it and use it. Hopefully there's no bugs or anything. If there's a bug, or like, there's something messed up with the sheet, just message me and we can try to figure it out together. Hopefully if it's like a big bug, I can fix it before too many people watch this video. But yeah, that's gonna be the journal for 2024, completely free to you guys, like I said, and I hope you guys all have a great 2024. But yeah, that's enough of me rambling. Thank you guys for sticking through this video, and I'll catch you guys, or I'm not posting actively on this channel anymore, but I'll see you guys around, right? Good luck on your trading, guys. If you have any suggestions on ways to improve this journal for next year, 2025, feel free to leave that in the comments below, or even message me on Discord about that. Up to you guys. Before I make the one for 25, I'll try to come back to this video and read the comments for that, and I'll try to include any other features you guys would like for the next year. Other than that though, I'll catch you guys around. I'll see you guys around, and it's been me, Zero, and I'm out. Peace.